Hey everybody, welcome back to the kitchen table. How are ya? Hello. How's it going, my darlings? Let's see where we're going today. I'm going to be doing some different kinds of videos this week and next week. I'm going to be going to Sedona, so I'm going to be doing some lives. All the lives that we have scheduled, I'll be doing in Sedona, obviously, since I will be there for like 11 days. And so anyway, things are moving around here. Things are shifting. And one of the things that I have discovered for myself is that part of my job is to help you discover yourself. And so that's where I'd like to go. I'd like to talk more about astrology and other things. And so I'm going to ask you guys what you think. And please put in the comments any kind of questions you'd like me to answer. We do a lot on the lives about answering questions, and I would love to have you do that. I am going to be doing more astrology. I am going to be doing more like how to discover who you are type of videos, and working with energy. So that to me is kind of like the next move here. And so some of you will love it, some of you won't, and that's okay. That's okay. But the morning message goes on. All right, so let's see where we go. So drop a comment below and let me know what you'd like me to explore more. And I'm interested to see what you have to say about that. All right, let's see where we go here. Morning message for whoever needs to hear this message. Oh my God. Come on, Mary Jo. All right, let's see where we go here. Yeah, for sure. Passion and pleasure. Ascending the mountain. First light, beginning a new cycle. So some of you have been in a cycle of, I'm going to say, people pleasing, doing things for others. I feel like it's been fun. I feel like you've had, there's been some positives that come out of it, but I feel like now we're on to something new, okay? So for any of you, I'm not condoning people pleasing in any way, shape, or form, but what I am saying is if there has been reciprocity, right, then it's not really people pleasing. That's a healthier cycle. If it has been out of balance, then it hasn't been so much fun. So you decide where you are on this spectrum. But I feel like there's an end of a cycle here. Obviously, as we're coming into March, we're coming into Aries season, the birthday of the year, astrologically speaking, because Aries is the first sign of the year. This is something that that you could be noticing, is that there's some things are coming to an end, even if it's not a full stop. It's a chapter closing or something like that, and you're now having to learn some new things. It's like, okay. And this is how, I will share with you, we're doing the ascendant class tonight, and it's so interesting because I feel like your ascendant sign really maps out all your houses for sure, and that really maps out your karma, what you're doing here. So that's why I'm doing this ascendant class. Any of you who want to do that and are not signed up, please send us an email, and if we have the capability, we will definitely either make the recording available for purchase, or we will do another round of classes. So let me know in the comments what you'd like to do there. But this is about moving on to a new phase. Okay, so just keep going forward. Somebody wrote in the comments the other day, and I think this is correct. Since it's Aries season, it's no time to sort of sit back. And I think what I also want to say about that is that meditating, taking time for yourself, self-love is not sitting back, okay? That's not the intention of those activities. To take a step back and be reflective is doing something. Since we are very much acculturated to must be productive, especially in Aries season, it can feel a little bit like that. But as I've been talking about for a couple of days now, Pluto at the end of April is going into I'm going to say recession. Going into recession, going into going into retrograde, but I got that recession feeling. So there's a time for reassessing here. Anything, especially Pluto, is about death and rebirth and about changes. So this is really an internal recession. Okay, I'm not talking about the economy or anything like that necessarily. I'm talking about internally checking that out, looking at what you value, since that's going to be in Capricorn. It's going to be in Taurus season at the end of April. Now, we have a full month to go before we get there. So there could be a lot of activity around new things, making changes, doing things that are bringing in a feeling of rebirth for you, or showing yourself to be rebirthing. Leo energy there. Interesting. Let me lay this all out. Wow. Holy cow. So star, let's see here. Let's do this a little bit better. Okay. The Leo energy underneath, star, lovers, 10 of Wands. Okay. That is definitely the old burden, the end of a cycle leaving. So as you're doing more healing, I think the ironic part of healing is that as you're doing it, it really brings up more shit. It brings up more nonsense. It brings up a lot of stuff. So it's like, all right, I'm just going to heal this one thing. And then ba-bam, you've all of a sudden got a lot of stuff on your plate that was like, okay, it's like the law of unintended consequences that, hey, I'm doing healing work. So like everybody get on the pile, right? Just pile right on. Just, do it. That's what it can feel like, okay? I feel like you're choosing to do healing work here. And there is a lot, okay? There is a lot. You might be choosing to heal relationships, because I see lovers and I see justice here. That's Libra energy. You may be choosing to do, heal your relationships and get stronger in relationships. And I feel like it's true. It is true that when you start to do things differently, especially if you are a people pleaser, if you're an empath that overgives or anything like that, as soon as you start to do things differently, people don't like that, okay? Because they've been benefiting from you for such a long time that the change brings up kind of conflict, let's just say conflict, because there can be two people in a very unconscious kind of toxic, that's a little bit strong, kind of dysfunctional agreement, right? Like you may have people in your life that you're in some kind of dysfunctional agreement with. I know, shocking. Empaths having a dysfunctional agreement. Oh my goodness, call the New York Times, right? Like, but this is definitely about now seeing it, bringing these things conscious and being like, consciously saying, no, I'm going to do things differently. If I want to create something new in my life, if I want to draw things in there differently, I'm going to need to change myself. I'm going to need to do things that are better for me. I'm going to need to stop being afraid of saying no. I'm going to need to allow myself to hear criticism from others. I am going to need to allow myself to give criticism to others. Okay? And however that works, I think what first happens, though, is there needs to be a stoppage and a healing. So for all of you who are like, hey, listen, I have Mars in Capricorn. I have, that whole Plutonic Mars change, take action, make the steps necessary. I have all of that. But sometimes when you have that really strongly, the balance of that is taking some stock about like, okay, how am I using that energy for myself? How am I putting myself out there? And what am I doing what am I saying is okay for me? Empaths, y'all really love to overgive. And I feel like that comes from a place, and this is not really, this is not an original thought in any way, shape, or form, but it comes from a place of having relationships in your life that are conditional love. We talk a lot about unconditional love in this channel, and let's call out the shadow side of that. Since we're talking about Pluto, let's call out the shadow side of that, which is, conditional love. So I must create value or I will be discarded. I must bring balance. I must bring it. No matter how I feel, no matter what's going on in my life, I must always be front and center for somebody. I must always be, the listener, the sounding board. I must always do that, or I am not going to be loved. Whatever value you think you need to create in a relationship, or you will not be loved. I must have no moods. I must have no problems. I must always be happy and cheerful. I must always be, you name it, okay? And because that's what this is. And how you show up in relationships is the thing I feel like you're healing right now. How am I showing up? So I do see Leo, I see Aquarius, I see Gemini, and I see Libra. So if any of y'all are those signs, I will get more guidance in the extended for you. However, the reading will go on in the extended regardless of your sign. So the energy of these things are present if this is resonating for you. The energy of Leo, which is overcoming an obstacle or having courage to step in. The energy of Aquarius, which is about hope and healing and, let's all work together. The energy of the Lovers, which is about making choices based on healthy energy. These are all positive attributes of these things. Making choices based on what I am authentically wanting to create. And then Libra, which is having the awareness to make balance. So when we're doing this 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands things, I feel like this could be reflected to you in a relationship in your life, whatever that relationship is, that shows you that someone may have been taking advantage, or that there was an imbalance or something like that. You're working hard, you're wanting to, make a relationship work, or you feel like that's part of your job, or you feel like that's the truth of relationships is how much effort I put in, you get back what you put in, right? All of that kind of stuff. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that statement as long as the little asterisk is you're not always having to give. Receiving is also important. If you are someone who's overgiving, sometimes it's very challenging because either receiving was not valued in your system growing up or in your relationships, but receiving is giving, okay? Receiving is giving, because if you allow someone to give to you, then you're able to have a reciprocity in relationship. So sometimes if you're overgiving, hey, stop that, because it makes the other person feel unable to balance it, okay? If you're somebody that is, on that side of it, you just want to, it's not about like scorekeeping or getting even or in any way, shape, or form. It's not really it. But when something's in balance, like I give and then sometimes I take. But it's not, first of all, it's not founded in a unhealthy intention. It's definitely like I'm getting what I need. I'm being authentic to what I need. So this 5 of Swords and 7 of Swords, me no like, okay? Because that is not balance, right? I see this, the Justice card here. And I almost feel like if you call someone out on the fact that you're overgiving or they're being a taker, I feel like there's going to be some conflict here, because that person is either going to call you out for not being able to receive, which is legit, or calling you out for, this moral high ground or whatever you're trying to do, or whatever is coming out of you. But it really is just an effort at balance. And I think this 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords, I feel like there's conflict here, but I feel like doing what you need to be doing is going to bring you confidence, is going to bring you self-confidence and a new path. Now, what you've got in front of you, though, that 7 of Swords shows up and that 5 of Swords shows up. So I'm going to clarify 10 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and 7 of Swords. So please clarify the 10 of Wands. Moving on, okay? Some of you could just turn your back on a relationship and not really talk about it. 5 of Swords, clarify the 5 of Swords. Yeah, this is about the other person. If you kind of walk away, the other person you guys have put a lot of time and effort into this relationship, but I feel like this person can feel a little bit like they've invested. They don't know what you're talking about this, you're overgiving and getting nothing back. They don't know what you're talking about. So I feel like the Seven of Pentacles here is like, I feel like you might feel like you've put a lot of time and effort into this. If you're the one who is feeling overburdened, then that's legit. If this other person is feeling angry because they feel like have a good give and take, that's legit. So there needs to be some conversation about like, why are we feeling out of balance here? All right, so what's the Seven of Swords? Ten of Pentacles, World, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, High Priestess. So I feel like this is kind of a family situation. This could be this could be brothers, this could be best friends, this could be sisters, this could be some kind of family relationship. It's something your family taught you is why this is going on here. So what needs to happen is that pattern needs to stop. Okay? That pattern needs to stop, and there needs to be work, effort put into stopping it and put into doing something else. And part of this is about accessing your intuition. This is not going to, this can also be like a very, okay, go to your neutral corners and do your work. Okay. I feel like one of you wants to just walk away. The other one wants to fight it out. I feel like there's a lot of like who did what kind of, that kind of thing. But for whatever it's worth, I got 2 10s and I got 2 9s here. We're coming to the end of a cycle, and this cycle definitely requires healing. Okay, it definitely requires healing. So I feel like being honest and authentic with your choices here is really what's going to help you move forward, right? Keep going forward, beginning a new cycle. And regardless of what other people like or don't like, it's almost like you have to kind of, it's not that you don't care what they think or whatever, but it's like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And if you're experiencing something in a certain way and they're experiencing it in a different way, well, that makes sense because they're in a different meat suit, right, than you. So, I do feel like there is going to be an effort at coming back together, and it's going to require learning something new, and it's going to require effort. Okay, it's also going to require boundaries. That's the B word that has not been uttered during this whole reading. And, good fences make good neighbors. Same idea. Boundaries mean you're expressing to people what you will and won't do in a loving way because it's about you. It's not really about what they're doing. They can then choose to, work with you on how the relationship can move forward, or they can choose not to. That's perfectly relevant and real and legit. If they don't want to, change how the relationship works, regardless of what you're saying, they feel like they have other fish to fry, they feel like they have other things to do, God bless. Okay, that's their choice. It's their choice. But if you're doing things out of positive self-regard, okay, if you're doing things out of, healthy boundaries and creating something that's good for you, okay, this person doesn't have to go along with that. Just saying, okay? So I'm going to continue on with this. If this reading has resonated for you, I'm going to continue on. I will look at those Leo, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. I do see Cancerian energy here, and I do see Virgo. So you don't have to have those signs to watch the extended. I just want to say that out loud. We're going to continue on with the storyline no matter what. But those energies are present, okay? Leo energy is present. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra is present. Also Cancer and Virgo. All right, so if you want to continue on with me, the link is below. If you're on Patreon, the rest of this reading starts right now.